Fife Flyers TV, sponsored by the Bay Hotel, Fife's premier wedding venue.
Todd, 7-0 win. You've got to be very pleased by that performance tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was important that we came back after the win in Braehead last night and faced this Dundee team that, the last two games went to overtime and it didn't go our way. And certainly in one of those games we had a commanding lead. So I think it was important that we put together 3 periods tonight. And for the most part, this is me nitpicking. There's a bit of loose play and a few obvious mistakes, but other than that, I thought it was a good, solid team performance.
Last night, I know you were commenting after the game about how it was a good spread of goal scorers, and tonight as well, Shaber, Danik Gauthier, Carlo Finucci, Liam Healis, all putting points on the board.
It's been a strength of ours all season, and if you look at, I would say, the majority of our wins, the goal scoring is spread out between the 3 lines. I think that's what's made us effective this year. I think that it becomes very hard to cover a multi-dimensional team. And, when we're skating, like we were certainly in the first period last night and for good portions of tonight, that's the hockey team that we know, and that's where our success so far this season it has come from.
I know you've very much been focusing on one game at a time and not looking at things like conference titles and things like that. You're now 1 point away from achieving the conference title. With the way things are going, it's looking almost unthinkable that you can't get that.
Well, it's certainly in the guys' hands. What do we have? 4 or 5 more games? 5 games left in the conference. And you have to look at it from, let's just look at it from the coach's perspective for 1 second. That would be wonderful, and we're not thinking ahead to that, but the way that the rules have gone with the seedings and whatnot, it's important to finish up in the highest league position as possible to arguably get yourself the best draw. But if you look in who's sitting in, say, the top 8 right now, they're all fantastic teams. And playoffs, not even looking ahead to that, but I can guarantee you that playoffs will be a very interesting time this year. The teams are so strong, and there's no easy draws. But to get back to your original question, yeah, you're right. I think that everybody's aware of it. It's not something that we've talked about all year, and we don't need to talk about it now. We have to go into Dundee tomorrow thinking it's 2 crucial league points. And if they make that happen, it would be wonderful to cap it off.
Especially on a night like tonight, where I think Nottingham beat the Devils. You've got the Edinburgh Capitals beating the Giants. So teams above you are having points taken off you while you're scoring the points.
I think it really confirms what I've said a number of times in interviews, that there are no bad teams in this league. I mean, Edinburgh have obviously been mired with injuries and players leaving. That's probably one thing that's really held back another good club from being up in the mix of things. You could get lucky, but seeing the way that Edinburgh has played at times, certainly against us this year, it's probably not luck. I mean, they're good, and they were due to bust out of it sometime. We certainly didn't want it to be us. So good for them, and there's probably a good feeling in that camp tonight.
You mentioned the seedings for the playoffs. Is that going to help you if, let's say, you do win the conference tomorrow night, for instance? Is that going to help just keep the guys focused on that run-in when it might otherwise have felt like there's nothing to play for?
I think it's something that we'll definitely discuss as a team. 100%. And you know what? If it did happen tomorrow, we would certainly give them their time to regroup and come back. But it's back to business next week. You can't, as you've seen from the results tonight, there's no nights off. You have to come back and you have to work for the 7 months that we're here. You have to be prepared to come work in, night out. Anyone in the sheet in my office that we see one in the loss column is most likely because we didn't show up that night. When this team shows up here, and it's something that you and I have talked about a lot, it's a very formidable team. And like I said, the support was great again tonight. It was great in and Bray Head last night. They know when they're watching good hockey, and if we lose, but we play the way we should be, there's rarely a boo heard in this building. They know what they want to see out there, and I think for the most part, right up until this point this season, the guys have certainly delivered that for them.
And I think just finally, heading up to Dundee tomorrow, I have a suspicion it could be 3/4 of the crowd all supporting the Flyers.
Won't Dundee love that, eh? It's great. And it's great to see people in this building supporting the team. That right from day one when we met these guys, Hutch and I, we knew that we had a fantastic group to work with. The crowd certainly came around, and they've jumped right on board with the guys. The support is fantastic. The guys love playing in front of this crowd, and they want to go and do this tomorrow for the group of supporters that basically pay their wages and come in here in this building and support them week in, week out. So that would be wonderful.
And just finally, with Nottingham and Sheffield, your games next weekend, how close are you to getting Evan Bludoff and Russ Murray back?
Well, it's hard to say. I know that Russ was certainly skating with us last week, but still had some difficulties, so he wasn't able to dress. Bloods, we're going to get the results of a scan back early in the week, and we'll know what we're going to do moving forward. Blood's a big miss for us. He's a guy who has 30 goals already, and a big force on the ice. So the quicker we can get him back into the lineup, the better for us.
The Bay Hotel, where your dream wedding becomes reality. Visit us at thebayhotel.net.